Sliding the Void YouTube for now. It's close. Halloween is getting very close. So tonight, no matter how many of you guys answer the question, I just need a little bit of feedback. I just need a little bit of help from you to figure out what it is that you want to hear on Halloween night. We got people that are putting in suggestions somewhere between this crazy signal on the Fringe FM, this weird alive signal that's going on. Something's always broadcasting. So tonight we are asking if you could hear one message through the static this Halloween, what would it be? Now, you could leave this in the live chat. You can message me via Discord. You can maybe call in. Maybe I'll open up the phones. But what would you call back from the other side, I guess, so to speak? I got Flying Bryce here with me, I believe. My trusty sidekick, as always. I don't know what I'd do without you, brother. I really don't know. You keep me sane. I give you a virtual hug right now, bro. Can you feel it? I'm squeezing you tight.
Feels good.
Right on. What's up, April? So here's the thing. The very first things that ever broadcasted in radio, I think, the first radio broadcast on Halloween, usually people associate that with the Orson Welles adaptation of H.G. Wells' kind of War of the Worlds thing. But we've all heard that. I mean, I'll probably play it on Hallows Eve at some point, but if you remember, like, radio used to be so big back then when he played that, it caused a nationwide panic. And so as many listeners believed it was real about an invasion from Mars, there were people that thought it was real. And the original broadcast was pretty significant in radio history. So I'm just wondering what it is. Like, if you guys even, I don't know, miss Halloween. I miss Halloween. Like, I can't go trick-or-treating. My son's grown, man. Like, I can't go anywhere. So I'll be up watching scary movies, or maybe, if I'm lucky, handing out candy or listening to the radio. But more than likely, I'll be broadcasting. So I know some of you aren't going to be doing shit, and I know you want to. So think about that. Message me. Tell me how I can make Halloween fun for you. You know, in the years following after that Orson Welles thing, there were Halloween-themed broadcasts, and they were really well produced. There were classic, like, horror stories and spooky tales. But I still think the Wells broadcast remains kind of the biggest one in history that everybody always talks about. But I thought about trying to find some recordings, if I could find them, of some, like, legitimate, like, real live seances. What do you think, Bryce? You think that would work? It might freak people out too much, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you believe in seances? Do you think it's real? Be honest with me.
I haven't ever experienced one, so honestly, I don't know. Could be.
That's a good answer.
That's my standard answer. It could be. I don't know.
Yeah. You remember? Yeah. You remember Monroe talked about, you know, these people that did a seance, and he saw them when he was out of body, and they were all laughing and stuff, almost as if they kind of didn't believe. Almost as if they kind of didn't believe he was actually there when he was out of body, but he was, you know.
Yeah.
So the real question, I think, is, do people want the nostalgia of the past, or do you want, like, a voice from your future? Do you think the dead still have something to say? My ex-wife actually messaged me today and was like, hey, do you know so-and-so from so-and-so paranormal? Like, I was thinking about getting in touch with a friend of mine, you know, that had passed away. I got to be honest with you, man, I've never been or participated in a seance in my entire life. I might try it out, but everybody around where I live is going to think I'm a devil worshiper if I do it. But I could care less. I stopped caring about that a long time ago. But I would still like to just experience it for myself, just to see what would happen. You know, what's up, Huey P. Burrito? So far, we're getting votes for storytelling and spoofs and fiction. I've got 4 options, but you can put something specific in the YouTube chat as well. So I've got spoofs and fiction, Halloween music, audio dramas, or storytelling. MJ says, we did seances when I was a teenager. Yeah, I used to hear about that back when I was in school, man. Like, I wasn't into the esoteric or the occult I was curious about it, sure, when I was in high school, but I really wasn't into it. We used to like think that the people that went and did that stuff were weird. You know, you guys were the weirdos. But a live seance. I wonder how I could make that happen. That would be tough. Like go out in the woods. I'd have to go out in the woods and broadcast from my phone, I think, maybe. Huey says, a few years ago, I felt my deceased parents visited me during the Day of the Dead, and I felt their presence and got very emotional. That's cool, man. Grandparents, not parents. I don't know if I'd want to talk to somebody like, it's not just because, it's not that I'd be afraid of it. It's that it would freak me out, you know, like, but if I could talk to one person, I'd want to talk to my grandma for sure. Because I miss her so damn much. So yeah, so you guys like know the dead still has something to say, right? Laura Ramsey says, you tell the best stories, Joe. Okay, well, we're getting votes for that too. I got to know, man. I mean, this is all about what goes into you guys' ears, even though I can get extremely selfish and just do whatever the hell I want. It's no fun if you guys don't like it too, you know? So I like to try to find things that we both like, you know? Thanks, Laura. Appreciate that. The seances that we did as teenagers actually worked. How'd they work? Like, did they talk? Did they use a medium? Did they talk through somebody? I think, do you kind of like miss? I do. I miss when radio felt haunted a little. So that's kind of what I just wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. I don't really have any guests planned for tonight. I think I'm going to bring on one next week, maybe two. But I just want to get a feel for it because this weekend I'm going to be working on a lot of this stuff all through the week too. So we got Alex Exum's Fright Night drama. So that's cool. Yeah, that's usually a highly produced segment. I think there might be a murder mystery. I'm not sure yet. That's in the works. Definitely will be some Halloween like shorts and music, and we'll be broadcasting live on the air all throughout Hallows Eve and Halloween. Mary Ducina is going to come on Hallows Eve too, yeah. And Bryce is going to tell scary stories for about 6 hours, aren't you, Bryce?
I don't know if I can do 6 hours.
What would you want to hear, brother? Think about it. It's okay. Don't worry about what anybody else. Who gives a shit what they think? Like, if you could be like, man, you know, I'm going to be sitting at home watching movies, playing video games, whatever, like eating candy corns. What would make you happy if you could hear it on Halloween? What would you like to hear? Don't have to be one specific thing either.
Man, like stories about the supernatural, dude. That'd be cool. I like the supernatural stuff.
Any supernatural stories? Okay. Fiction, nonfiction?
It doesn't matter.
Really? So you don't mind the nonfiction as long as it's a good story, huh?
Right.
Man, that just goes to tell you, like, everybody loves a good story, you know? Right. I think the old terrestrial broadcast feel will be fun. We have a radio. I promised this. My grandmother still has one of those old radios. It might be worth some money. I don't know, but it's one of those old like wooden radios with it has wooden knobs on it. It's not prefab or made up, or it's like the actual old school radio. And I can only imagine what those things used to sound like, you know. Like Tales from the Crypt. Yeah. Let's look and see. Let's go back into history a little bit, maybe. MJ says, I've got some ghost stories to tell. It actually happened. Yeah, we'll do some call-ins and stuff where people can tell stories. Yeah. I'll work on the layout too and get it to you guys. Let me see. I'd like to see if they have a timeline up for this stuff. WKBW Halloween Archives, the 60s and the 70s. See that, man? Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. They play those old like radio shows, which are cool. I mean, we play some of them too. I try to pick through those and try to find the best ones that I can. But man, it just seems like that's what everybody does. I want to do something a little different, if possible, though. Subdragon Rose. Let's see, the War of the Worlds radio broadcast. Remember that show? Did you ever listen to that, Bryce? The War of the Worlds one?
I don't think I've ever heard it in its entirety.
What?
Yeah.
We got to play that then. Seriously. Like, even if you just sit back chilling, like playing video games or waiting, are you going to be trick-or-treating for kids this year? Like offering candy and stuff?
I will be handing out candy.
Yeah, so you're going to have the Fringe FM on in the background too. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So that thing aired at 8 p.m. October 30th, 1938 in Studio One on the 20th floor of the Columbia Broadcasting Service in New York City. And no one knew what the hell he was. I don't think he pre-warned anybody or anything. I think that he just did all this and just threw it on them, you know. So the guy I did radio, Orson Welles, he stood up at a podium. He wasn't sitting down on his arse like the rest of us do. Us podcasts, we all like to just sit down and I hope you like to hear what I got to say. No, this dude was, he was in it, man. And he had 10 actors with him and 20, imagine this in a radio studio, 10 actors that are with you, which, by the way, Alex Exum has done for Halloween, and a 27-piece orchestra. And this is how he starts it. It's Hallows Eve, a.k.a. Mischief Night, Devil's Night, Hell Night, a night known for centuries to unleash all manner of trickery on the unsuspecting. And he said, tonight will be no exception. And then the first words crackle over the airwaves pretty loud and clear. And he goes, the Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations present Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the air and the War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. And I guess what happened was, as people missed that part and like started tuning in afterwards while he was reporting the, Martian attack or whatever, that was the only clue that all the listeners got was that 10 seconds. I think it was in the beginning, that disclaimer. If they tuned in at the very beginning of the broadcast, and that's the thing about radio, it's not on-demand listening like podcasts. People are tuning in, tuning out all the time. That's why I love it, because you not only want to inspire and captivate people, but it's fun to be that voice that's occupying maybe just one half of their mind while they're doing something else, But anyways, if they would have tuned in on time, they would have known that the whole thing was a gag, right? Well, so, but when people started tuning in, they were captivated, and they were, I guess they were calling their neighbors. I heard there was like people, according to my dad and his dad telling him stories, there were people running down the road, knocking on people's doors, telling them to listen to the radio because they were being invaded by Martians and things like that. So the nation was gripped by what they thought was like a real Martian invasion. Legendary chaos ensued, but did it? How come we can't ever have something that cool, man? All we hear about is the damn 3-eye atlas, and it's like, it might be a spaceship, or, well, we don't know, and well, now we don't know everything that we thought we knew about comets. It's like, oh, imagine that. Scientists don't know everything about the universe. But I think a War of the Worlds thing would be way cooler, but we couldn't pull. Do you think anybody could pull that off today, Bryce? Like on the internet? I don't think so. Like if somebody just jumped on YouTube and was like started broadcasting fake crap, ain't nobody going to believe him now.
Yeah. I don't think anybody takes credit in the internet.
Yeah, see, we actually made the mistake back then. It's not a mistake really, but we trusted people then. So when old Orson was broadcasting, if you tuned in afterwards, and he did drop the disclaimer, like I said before, but if you tuned in afterwards, you really thought, oh shit, man, he told the story so good. Like it was so amazing that I try to imagine myself being back there thinking, damn, I wonder if I would have been one of those people that thought that we were being invaded by Martians. I'm pretty gullible sometimes. I might have, So, now, I want to clear something up about this broadcast, though. So, H.G. Wells, not Orson Welles, but H.G. Wells is the author of The War of the Worlds. That was published in 1898. And that guy was, if any of you guys are sci-fi nerds like I am, you know who H.G. Wells is. So, Like he gave us the time machine, the Invisible Man, but Orson Welles is just the broadcaster, or at the time he was a director or actor, and he adopted the book into this crazy radio broadcast, and that was like 40 years later. Huey says, man, I don't think people have the attention span anymore. No, they don't. People really don't. I talk to some people about ideas for the radio station and the podcast, like the Fringe FM and things like that. People are like, man, you just got to do shorts. You got to do shorts. It's like, if I just had, like, I don't know, man, if I got to just broadcast, Bryce, you were talking about this the other day, how it'd be fun just to do like an old school radio music show, right? Where you just pop in some vinyl or something, talk a little bit, play some music. It's kind of sad that we don't have that we don't enjoy those things anymore, you know?
And the radio stations don't want it.
No, they don't.
Station managers don't want it.
Matter of fact, I've talked to a lot of the. I try to keep in touch with some of the people that I worked in with terrestrial radio before, and they don't even like doing live broadcast anymore. Even if they got the XDS satellites and all this stuff, they don't like syndicating live broadcasts. And a lot of the live broadcasting you think is live, especially, I won't mention any late night shows or anything, but a lot of the stuff the host is saying are like pre-recorded shots. So here's the thing. Even though we're doing radio different, we may actually be one of the only few people doing digital or internet radio, long form, you know. Huey says, I've used shorts to promote my full videos. Yeah, I hear you, man. That's a good way to do it. Let's see. But see, here's the thing, though, when it comes to creating stuff. Like, you should definitely, you want people to like what you're doing, but if at least 60% of what you're doing isn't for yourself, like because you think it's fun or you enjoy doing it, and let's say you're 60% worried about what other people think, it's not really that fun. And if it's just a business, then I understand, then you have to be, but sometimes it's just fun just to do stuff and just to do it, you know. But think about the scenario back then, because we might, like, I don't want to get political. I don't talk politics, nothing like that, but we might be coming up on something like this soon. Okay, so we got the government shut down. That's not really a fallout. But if I could set the stage for you, back in 1938, the Great Depression had left emotional and economic scars, so people were hurting, man, before that broadcast came on. People were more like radio and television oriented, especially radio orientated. So the Munich crisis had just occurred 1 month earlier. It was tough times, man. Hitler was rising in Europe. America was on edge. There was the Hindenburg disaster in 1937. Another real-time radio reports conditioned listeners to expect. I mean, people were like expecting sudden chaos to happen all the time. So it really was kind of like the perfect environment for confusion and probably mass panic. And I think he timed it perfect. You know, there was, it was definitely a time to like scare the hell out of people. It's kind of sadistic if you think about it, right? Because it was in really hard times of America, and Orson Welles is like, now I'm going to take these actors, I'm going to take this orchestra, and I'm going to tell them there's a Martian invasion. But he wasn't. I don't think he was planning. I don't think he ever planned on trying to convince people it was real. He just got into it so much, and then when people, you know, missed the initial broadcast where he was telling people it was based on a book, people just started falling for it. Because you know how people are. When the sky's falling, when it rains, it pours, and when everybody's, you know, in their fear states and they're on edge, it's easy to spook them about anything, you know. We don't really have a fascination. The only thing that I feel like we're kind of crapped out on UFO stuff, though. Don't you, Bryce? I feel like even the 3-Eye Atlas thing, no matter what, when someone brings up UFO stuff, unless it's super, super interesting, it's like, man, I've heard it before. And whatever you're about to tell me isn't going to come to nothing. That's how I feel. It's sad. Do you feel that way, brother?
Yeah, I do. It's lost its
luster almost.
It's like you're hearing the same thing over and like you said, hearing the same thing over and over again until it just bores the crap out of you, and you just don't want to hear it anymore. Because frankly, it's the boy who cried wolf.
That's what it is, and that's a perfect setup for when we do actually get invaded. I would say that there was a big fascination with life on Mars that grew back then for some reason. So let's see, October 27th, 1938, the Christian Science Monitor published an article featuring Swedish astronomer Knut Lundmark, who speculated that what is he saying? It's weird English. Living things exist not only on Mars, but also upon some of the other planets. And this piece appeared just 3 days before the broadcast. So they didn't have the internet. They had newspapers and radio, but they still knew how to stir up a hornet's nest, you know. I can't promise you guys that we'll have anything super real like that. I don't think I can do as good as Orson Welles, but I can try. All right, so let's see. 11 votes, spoofs and fiction, and audio drama. Okay. You guys are pretty much voting on the same thing. I like it. See, I agree. I used to love UFO stories. I don't really get phased anymore. Yeah, I don't either. Because it's like, no matter what happens, because I've talked to a lot of people lately. They're like, why don't you have this person on or that person on? And after you've done almost, the archives say that I've done 800 and something shows, but I've actually done over 1,000 shows. Just some of them aren't archived. But after you've talked about the same things so many times, it's like, what other small aspect of this subject matter can we try to bring in to talk about that might be interesting, that might do something for us? And it's not doing a damn thing. It's not that we don't believe that the government knows something. It's not that we don't believe that the government's covering anything up, or it's not that we don't believe in UFOs. It's none of that. It's just, how do I explain this? It's just like someone talking about a hidden problem that nothing ever comes of it. It's almost like when you're arguing with somebody that refuses to change year after year after year after year after year. And the older they get, the harder it is to get them to change. I don't know, man, you just stop after a while, you know. Let's see, the broadcast genius laid in its format. After the introduction, Wells presents a seemingly ordinary evening of radio programming, beginning with the weather reports and dance music. Then at around 3.5 minute mark comes the first interruption, a news bulletin about strange observations from Mars. And then it just escalated from there. Now, the thing is how real was it back then? According to PBS, War of the Worlds was not heavily involved in the creation, or Orson Welles wasn't heavily involved in the creation of the broadcast until frightfully close to the air date. At that time, he found the current version of the radio play drab and boring. So just days before the broadcast, he happened to hear a CBS broadcast of a play entitled Air Raid by Archibald MacLeish, which was a fictional story, and the form mimicked the style of a breaking news flash. So the War of the Worlds script was hastily rewritten in the new format. That's pretty interesting. So just a few days before he did that, he kind of made it his own thing, you know. Dragon Rose says, I've moved away from UFO stuff towards more spiritual stuff, and even that topic has a lot of, man, yeah, there's a lot of, I won't go into that. I was just talking to somebody today about that. There's a lot of energy let's just call them energy manipulators in the spiritual realm, world, niche. Fictional, doesn't matter. Bryce, you said the same thing too, didn't you? Storytelling, whether it's fictional or nonfiction, you don't care, huh?
Yeah, I don't care. It's supernatural. I love it.
What do you do? Do you have a favorite niche? We gotta try to make it Halloweeny though. Like how would
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about like crystals and stuff like that on Halloween, you know.
No, I mean like ghosts and I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
That kind of stuff.
you know what my thoughts on ghosts are? Ghosts are just for the most part, I think they're just people that, unless you're specifically trying to talk to somebody that's dead, I think they're just people that are sleeping. They're just out of body and they don't know it.
Maybe.
That's what I think. I don't know. I'm trying to find something. Is that the only thing that happened in Halloween? Was that really the coolest thing? Was Orson Welles? No one ever broadcasted anything like super cool other than that? That sucks. That's how big that was, though. Nobody likes UFO stuff anymore. April says, I don't enjoy shorts. I get hooked on watching a bunch of shorts, but I don't really enjoy them. That's sad, man. Dragon Rose said, if something real actually happened, nobody would believe it. That's the kicker, man. Whenever we do get like a UFO or some kind of invasion or whatever, I don't know if it'll be like we'll get a real alien invasion, but let's say we did. It'll be probably a whole day before anybody takes it seriously, you know? All right. Well, this is some good feedback. This is some real good feedback. I appreciate that, guys. I can't believe nobody picked it. There's like 0% Halloween music. Nobody likes any Halloween music at all. We'll play some music. Huh? What is Halloween?
I don't know.
Oh, I know what Halloween music is.
Oh, okay.
Dark, grungy stuff, dude.
Ah.
You know, Typo Negative, stuff like that.
Stabbing Westward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call it Halloween music. Like that dark, grungy rock, dark, eerie kind of rock stuff. I don't know. I'm a nerd. I like that, though.
I got you.
I've studied mediumship and find that fascinating, but I don't like to mess with ghosts. Haunted places and spirits are not things to mess with, in my humble opinion. I'm not a fan of it either, but I'm not scared of it. It's not like I'm not worried about how to explain it. I'm not worried about being taken, like if some spirit's gonna possess me, or if they're gonna influence me, or if I'm gonna get tricked by a demon that says that they're someone else that they're not. I'm not worried about any of that stuff. My thing is boy, I got friends that are mediums, so this is hard to say. My thing is how much of it is real, really real. You know, when it comes to, are you actually talking to a spirit? Or are you manipulating yourself into thinking that you're talking to a spirit? Because we are very good at manipulating ourselves in our own mind, and even still not being aware of what we do unconsciously. I question all of that. So even like the Seth Speak stuff, and I know J.M. DeBoard was on talking about it, so he had some pretty interesting things to say about the whole thing. But every time someone like channels something, transfers a message, like, no, I wouldn't say like psychically or intuitively. What I mean is, like, I talked to your dead mother and she said this kind of thing. I always have, I'd say 40. No, if I'm being honest, I got to be honest. 50% doubt, 55% doubt. You know, as long as it's not Monster Mash. Why can't we play Monster Mash, man?
You gotta play Monster Mash on Halloween.
You have to, yeah.
Not on repeat, but you have to play it. You know.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, I saw like you see like 4 or 5 people dip out right after I said that I have doubts about mediumship.
I did not.
Yeah, dude, I don't care, man. Like Lighting the Void is about truth seeking. We're allowed not to believe everything you believe in. You know, if that's the case, like if you just need to be validated, you're at the wrong channel. There's plenty of channels that'll validate everything you believe. I got a ton of UFO stuff too. Well, maybe your UFO stuff will be more interesting because I'm pretty sure I've heard it all when it comes to the UFO field. Dragon Rose said, I think it's more like 90% doubt for me, but I do believe some mediums are genuine. I do too. I know, like some of the stuff that's happened to Chris, I know is legit. And I think that's just because I know Chris. I've known him for so long. And the things that happened to him weren't like, it wasn't like he just started channeling somebody and started talking. It's like just weird. He would have really deep feelings in his body. And I mean, he's been pretty accurate with it too. I think if anybody's convinced me that it's even remotely real, it'd probably be Chris, you know. You picked a hell of a night to tune in. Why? What's going on? Damn, I can't believe it's 9:50 already. It's been a crazy week. We got to catch up with stuff on Halloween too. All right, so just a little recap here. October the 30th, we're going to start I'd probably say sometime afternoon. We're going to start the Halloween stuff. And there's already some of that stuff in the works kind of right now, but it'll all start blending together. And then Halloween Day, I think we're going to have some stuff from Anthony Tyler. I know Mary's going to come on. Alex Exum's going to do his thing. I got some stuff I'm going to do. And we'll just keep adding on to it. Anyways, what's up, Barbara? Why'd you pick a hell of a night to tune in? What's going on? How come you ain't tuning in every night? Why just tonight? I don't have anything else. This is all I really wanted to talk to you guys about, just to see where you're at. And I got a good idea. More, look there. There's some audio. So more storytelling. Everybody loves stories, man. Audio dramas and spoofs. Oh, first thing I heard you say was about mediums. I'm not like... let me ask you guys a question. Do you believe in the Bashar guy? Well, fuck, I'll ask you, Bryce. You're right here with me. You worried about what people think? Do you believe the Bashar dude? He talks in that... You have to remind me. You know, he talks in that crazy voice and he's always channeling some other being that's enlightened or whatever.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not really... It's not ringing any bells right now.
I don't know, dude. I just don't know. I also think like this too. If you get real deep into it, like what Carl Jung, you know, what Carl Jung talked about when he talked to the characters that were in his journeys, they weren't channeled people. They weren't like channeled. These characters came from his unconscious. What is fascinating though is what the character said to him in his books is that we are more real than what you think real is. So if you look at it from that point of view, then consciousness is just consciousness. Like, I know we could do the whole thing like this is the illusion and that's the real, but okay, then you could take that perspective and say, well, if they are making it up, does it really make it less real? I hear you. I've heard this argument before, right? Definitely Bashar. I'm with you too. Bashar looks like a 100% performance to me. To me too. But that's not the case here. The real case is the question is channeling real? Like, are you channeling a dead person into your being to talk? Now, Robert Monroe says it's real, but you have to, the way they do it is like the whole out of body experience thing where they have to kind of go and help someone that's like transitioning through, I guess, being alive and about to die. But what I'm talking about specifically is people going out to a field, burning or a room somewhere, getting a Ouija board and calling upon the dead and talking to them. He always has quick and thoughtful answers when questioned in his live events. I saw him in Vegas. Yeah. Well, damn, I don't want to sound like a cynic. But there's a lot of quick and thoughtful people, you know. I think it's. I don't think. I mean, I would believe more. If you guys know Chris, well, you know what I'm talking about with Chris, right, Bryce? Like he doesn't. His thing is when from what I understand, and I'll have to have him back on. Maybe I'll have him on to talk about it a little bit more because he knows way more about it than me. He actually works with people and stuff. Like, from what I understand, is like he feels stuff in his body, you know. Like he gets messages through his emotions and in his body. So maybe we'll have him on at some point, like next week. But I don't know if it's like if I brought seances up to him, if he would talk to me about that or if he even believes in it or not, you know. Yeah, it is.
One of my favorite horror movies start with seances and Ouija boards. It
is easy to be cynical about it because I've been manipulated. Look, I've been in this world for so long. Like, I've made so many connections and I've left so many of them alone. I've been bullshitted by so many people, names that I know would just be too devastating to even tell you. There's so much bullshit out there that the real stuff that happens to people is covered up, and it's sad. It's just like, to me, it's just like real murder, kidnapped, and rape victims. There's all kinds of people bullshitting about that too, and the real victims never get the justice they deserve because of those people. Same thing in this world. It's like 70% bullshit artists and 30% real legitimate people that have real things going on with them. Part of a lot of the people in that 70% aren't bullshitting other people, they're bullshitting themselves, you know. What'd you say, man? You're trying to bring it back to Halloween too, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. Saying my favorite horror movies start with Ouija boards and seances.
What movie is that?
What was that the one we watched that night on movie night? I don't know. That wasn't my favorite one, but it was definitely a good one.
What did we watch? What movie?
It's the one where that kid lost his sister in the car accident.
Oh, I don't even know if I could talk about that. That's a freaky movie, though. What was the name of that movie?
I can't remember.
Yeah. So we got to figure that out during like the top of the hour thing, right? If you guys really want to get freaked out, that's a movie you need to go watch. That movie, there's something about that movie that gets under. It made my hair stand up, man. Like, I don't get scared. There's none of these movies that scare me, but this movie, like, they made it so real. Even like the family drama and everything that was happening between them. Damn, shit. I don't even want to talk about it until we forget the name of it. That was a good movie, though. We'll figure out the name of it during break. We might have to go through the live Discord. Speaking of the live Discord, if you want to come on the show in the production room and you're labeled to do so, you can come on in. But text, call, post, chat. Let me know like what you want to hear on Halloween night. Ghost stories, lost transmissions, a voice from the past. But the main 4 categories are up there on the YouTube chat. And when did freaking Halloween stop being about candy and start being about like mysteries, man? I want to feel the Halloween magic this time of year. I don't want it to go by super fast and not have any cool memories this Halloween. I want to make memories this Halloween, right? That's what I want to do. Damn it.
Does stuff come? Yeah, come in.
I'm going to find the name of that movie. Every single one of you, if you like to be scared, should watch whatever movie we're about to talk about after the break. As soon as I figure out what the hell it is.
You fiend, you
don't remember the name of it, man?
You know, boosters and the stereo dappers. You dirty rat. You got me started on this stuff. Take it easy, Charlie. You can't
remember the name of it either.
Charlie, stay away from those knobs. Charlie, don't touch that big knob.
Some sellers can get a guy like Charlie pretty easy.
What is it?
I have a flexing of homecoming from my DAC on 3,000 watt power amplifier.
stay clean, Chuck. Pipe dreams keep a fiend stuck, obsessing over every new toy and beat machine touch. From clean cut kid to craft sewer rat, digging through the trash and dollar bins, slipping through the cracks of mass. Wax piled to the ceiling beams, countless holy grails, Thai 45, psych from the Philippines, name it. An unknown with dreams of being famous in the arsenal of analog gadgets to ease the pain with. The smug, self-important record store clerks the plug that keeps him coming back for high fidelity drugs. Chuck snapped like a celery stick with his first fix, stripping cords for copper wire to fry his nerves with. The curse won't be lifted till you crash, find the bottom, and shake the primate attached to your spinal column. I've tried to help, but there's some things you gotta face alone. To figure out yourself, you better watch your speed, Casey Jones.
Yo, Chuck, man, where you been?
You're making tapes or what? Making tapes, thinking about making tapes.
I let you use the cabinet.
You're trying to collect every song.
That's right.
I would say that collecting probably was a symptom of their mental problems.
Put those records down, bro. Put them down.
Last time we spoke, Chuck said he kicked. Then I spotted him at the record shop trying to scratch his itch, hands shaking, sweating bullets, wild-eyed and distant. Chopping up gator tails and crate dust and sniffing. A man possessed by ASR 10s and techniques, 808 Sakai's, preamplifiers and SPs. With quarter-inch cables plugged in either ear. One of many struck by this affliction in recent years. But these days, everybody's something. Writers, rappers, buyers, trappers, audiophiles sliding backwards. A gospel record's preparation for the final rapture. His pleasure center fires.
Recording initiated. Transmission log 5. Live status. Unstable.
Machine, I found an old dial position we haven't touched since the blackout.
Designation unknown. Last transmission 18 years ago.
Patch it.
We never stop. We never stop.
They're still out
Yeah,
there.
that's what it's called.
Warning. Frequency is consuming bandwidth from active channels.
Well, let it. We owe them a signal.
Fringe FM. Transmitting across lost time.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
I'm 54, so basically, it's too late to start saving for retirement, right?
Not right. Starting to save, even in your 50s, can really make a difference.
Well, right now, saving seems hard to wrap my head around. Plus, with the way this year's been going...
Hey, listen, it's okay. You still got this. Just go to aceyourretirement.org. It's an online tool from AARP that can help you get your retirement savings on track no matter your age. It's free and only takes about 3 minutes.
I like 3 minutes.
Yeah, at aceyourretirement.org, you'll chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer a few questions and you'll get a personalized plan and tips to help boost your retirement savings. Tips that are easy to understand and tailored to your lifestyle.
I like that too.
Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back. Just head to aceyourretirement.org and make your plan to start saving for retirement.
Thanks.
That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Have you ever wondered, what do the stars say for me? Or, will the next month or the next year be more favorable? How about, are our two signs compatible? Each month at the new moon, you can ask these questions live with me, your astrologer psychic, Mary DeCina, along with host of Lighting the Void, Joe Root. Join us at the new moon for Cosmic Conditions. We look forward to working with your energy.
Every new moon at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Fringe FM.
Recording initiated. Transmission log 7. Life status unstable.
Hello, is this the operator? You're not on.
Unauthorized signal intrusion.
Wait. Trace that.
Location off-grid, possibly under the ocean.
We've been trying to reach you. Don't let it shut you down.
Yes, we're not the last broadcast after all.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Anonymous Yogurt, the yogurt nobody ever heard of. Anonymous. Ask for it by name.
Wait.
Wait a second. What is going on? Let's pull some tarot cards. Yeah. No.
Some weird shit's going on, man. No, we're not pulling any tarot cards tonight. But speaking of tarot, we got Eric TC in the house. You guys know Eric, right? If you ever wondered who did the artwork for Lighting the Void, it's that man there. He did the Shadow Light Tarot. My man. Maybe we can get Eric to make a appearance during Halloween too. All right, so you guys ready for this freaking movie that's going to trip you out? Jan, the tarot reader, might make a appearance during Halloween. I hope not. God, she pulls like 80 cards every reading. You know, it's freaking stupid. But I don't want to. I don't want
only 72 in a deck or something.
Yeah, dude, it's just every time I get a reading from her, it's like, let me clarify. I'm like, I just pull me 3 cards, man. Tell me what it is. That's all I want. I just want to know, like, maybe even 1 card. But Eric's artwork is awesome, and from my understanding, I think he's got another project in the works too. So, all of the Lighting the Void stuff, the T-shirts, everything that you see as far as the logos are concerned are done by that guy right there. And when I see really good talent, I don't know, man. He's just, I think what got me with Eric was and I know I'm taking a left turn here, but I just saw him pop in the chat, was when he did the Hanged Man. The guy, if you guys ever go to his YouTube channel and watch him, real time draw out the Hanged Man, how he draws it out, It's so freaking captivating, man. I can't stop watching it, you know. Such a good artist, dude. You inspire me, man. You really do. All right. So the name of this movie, and if you're alone tonight by yourself, I wouldn't watch it. What do you think? Should you tell them to watch it, Bryce? If they're alone, I'm not watching it by myself.
I wouldn't watch it if I was alone.
I'm not. No,
really
like no. That movie, and I don't get freaked out. At least I don't think I get too freaked out. But I'm not. There's something about that movie. Like whoever wrote it had something going on in their head, man. So, anyways, I know I've been teasing y'all with it enough. You've probably seen it. It's called Hereditary. Isn't that the name of it? Hereditary? Shit, I hope I did it. So there's going to be stuff in that. It's not gory. That's the thing. It's not gory. It's not like
not really.
No,
but, I mean, there are some parts. I mean, but it's not like your slasher horror. It's a supernatural horror movie.
Let me see if I can drop it in chat. Yeah, it's totally supernatural. There's some occult aspects to it too, and it's just I haven't watched a movie that really like chipped me up like that in a while. And that the first time I watched it, I got to be honest with you guys, we have movie nights on Sunday night in the Discord, and the first time I watched that movie, I didn't finish it. I turned it off because it started freaking me out. And I have no way to explain why. It's not like clowns or any of that stuff. It doesn't have like, I don't think it has jump scares in it, does it? It's not like jump scary. It's just dark, man.
It's dark and creepy, man.
Yeah, it's really dark. Yeah. Eric says, pleasure to synchronicity be up this late and present to share myself. Hope it inspires others to continue to share their gifts. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That freaking Halloween sound scares me. What's up, Alan? I'm on the edge of my seat in anticipation. I just dropped it in chat. That I think that IBDM link there. Don't watch that alone. If you guys can watch that alone and it just doesn't affect you, then you don't let me know, because you are a dark person. Some of you may be dark, hell, and just you're cool with it. Me, no. But the acting, these are not like A-list actors or anything. It was just so good. You know, speaking of storytelling, you guys love storytelling, right? So this thing was so freaking good. The story, the arc, the plot, and it was dark. It just kept getting darker and darker the whole way through. And this is one of those movies, like when it ends, you're going to be like, holy shit, really? But you have to know, I think the thing with this movie is, and I'm trying not to spill too much here, is that you have to know a little bit about the occult, right? Don't you think, Bryce? Like that makes it even better, I think.
It makes it better, but you don't have to know. I mean, you don't really have to know anything about the occult, but it does definitely add flavor to it if you do.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah, like if you guys believe in some of the stuff that we've talked about on this broadcast, like if wholeheartedly believe in things like thought forms, tulpas, and even I would say especially possession, which I'm not so sure about that. But if you believe in those things, just purify yourself before you watch this movie. You know, I'd watch it with you guys on YouTube if they didn't freaking. I think I've tried that before, and they've like banhammered me once for doing that stuff. Like their algorithms are insane. But maybe we should watch it again on movie night, man. Are you down to watch it again before Halloween? I was thinking about the Candyman, but I mean, if we really want, Bryce is like hesitating. He's like, I don't know if I want to watch that again, man.
I'll watch the Handyman or the
Candyman
before I watch that again. I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's how good it is. Like you don't even want to see it again, you know? Yeah, man. Yeah, Eric, anytime, bro. You're a hard person to latch down because I know you're creatively expressing yourself like crazy, and I hope you never stop. I hope you never. I'm gonna do some man hugging here with Eric. I hope you never stop being you, dude. No matter what, you know. He says, "Have you seen Over the Garden Wall? Has that old timey radio vibe to it too?" No, I haven't seen that. Oh shit, Huey's got it. I've heard of it, but I need to watch it. I got Is it on HBO Max? Listen, Huey, if you can watch that by yourself, which you probably can. I'm not saying it's gonna. But how about this? If you can watch this movie by yourself and not be bothered, like it doesn't bother you, let us know. Let me know. You know, like if it doesn't twitch you up at all, because that was tough. That one was tough to watch. What's the scariest movie you besides that you ever watched? I'm not scared of any of these movies anymore, man. It used to be cool, right? Like Friday the 13th, that scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. But I watch it. When I watch it now, I just freaking laugh, you know? It was like when I was a kid, I felt everything, you know? Halloween night, you could feel the freaking air get still. I was scared of all kinds of stuff when I was a kid. The moon seems closer. Like to me, it just did when I was a kid. And the world starts to hum a little. It's a little different this time of year around Halloween. And if you watch Candyman now, Candyman's still kind of scary, but I don't think Halloween is really about jump scares. It's about like this, for me, I love nostalgia. So it's about like this strange electricity in the air, like reality's veil gets just a little thinner, you know, enough that some things could just slip through maybe. And I think that might be why we love it, because it's the one night where the mystery feels so freaking real again, you know? So that's kind of the question I wanted to ask you guys tonight. Like if the airwaves are open tonight, which they kind of are, but this is more like a Q&A thing. What do you want to hear coming through? Like, you want ghost stories, a lost voice, maybe a seance, or maybe just some proof that there's still something out there. I put in a poll in the chat, and it looks like we got 71% storytelling. That is the connector, man. Jenny saw the movie. I don't know if Jenny remembers it. She might have fell asleep. Was Jenny there when we watched that movie?
She was.
Did she fall asleep?
I can't remember. I would hope not, because I don't think anybody fall asleep during that movie.
Jenny might. She works hard, though, so she might have fell asleep. Hereditary. Go watch it. Yeah. So it's strange how curiosity and fear come from the same place. If you look into, the human brain, that's what scientists say, that fear and curiosity come from the same place. This is why we like to play with our fears, and we get so glued, like curiosity and fear. They're all like the same kind of in the same hemisphere of our brain, I guess, or something. But the unknown terrifies us, but we can't stop staring into it. Which is one of the reasons why I named the show Lighting the Void, right? That's what Halloween is, though. That's why I love this freaking time of year, man. It's like our yearly permission. It's like our permission slip to wonder again, you know. It's not just about ghosts and monsters or cryptids, even though that stuff's cool. Like, it's about touching something bigger, even if it scares us. You know, we like to do that. We like to touch something that freaks us out and then draw back a little bit. It's crazy, our nature, that we do that, you know. So at some point in your life, though, I personally did not get to celebrate a lot of holidays growing up as a child. My dad thought that they were all pagan and that we would burn in hell if I celebrated them. But when I would escape to my grandmother's house, I would get to celebrate like Halloween, Christmas, things like that. But I am wondering now, like, when did I stop trick-or-treating? When did you stop trick-or-treating and wonder about the unknown? I think for me, Bryce, it was probably in my 20s. Like, I stopped trick-or-treating way before then, but I don't think I gave a shit about anything unknown until I got into my late 20s. What about you?
I started. I quit trick or treating way before I was 20, but I'd always kind of had an interest in the supernatural and the unknown, as you call it.
I'm so proud. My son's watching that show now. You know how Corbin, he doesn't really talk much, right? He's like, yeah. He's just a man's man at 21, right? So he just goes to work, doesn't talk about much. And then I got off the phone with him the other night and I said, all right, well, I guess I'll talk to you later, son. And he goes, all right, well, I'm going to go watch Supernatural. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're watching Supernatural? And he's like, yeah, I kind of like it. And that's all he said. But at least, he's in there a little bit. 21 years old.
Yeah. It's a really good show until about somewhere after the 5th season, but we won't go there.
Yeah. Don't give that away. Do you think we gave too much about the movie away? We didn't, right? No. But the reason what I would like to do creatively.
The best thing you can say to get people to watch it is tell them don't watch it. It's bad.
I will say this: like if you're susceptible to nightmares, I don't think you should watch it.
Yeah.
Especially if you can't handle your nightmares. And I'm telling you, there's not going to be any crazy looking monsters. There's not going to be any jump scares. It's a little bit of gore, but not much. But it's like, it's the perfect psychological freak. Yeah, I haven't, but I would say that a dark song isn't scary, but that's a pretty enticing. That's a good movie. If you watch Hereditary, it gets a lot darker. It takes a big step into the darkness, But there's always, the reason why I'm asking is I love two things, radio and Halloween, right? Those aren't the only two things I love, but there's always been something ghostly about radio. Voices, like disembodied voices that you have to imagine or picture somewhere, traveling through the dark, looking for anybody that might be listening. I don't want to bring up the old classic Art Bell, but there were other shows that just made me feel the same way that Halloween feels. So, and maybe if you think about it, like that's what a ghost is. Robert Monroe is right. Like it's just a broadcast that never stopped playing. A frequency that never stopped playing. That's on a conscious level. If you guys kept up with the books, if he's right, then that's all it is. It's a phase shift or a frequency. That's what a ghost is, that never stopped playing that frequency. It never phased on to something else. So that makes me wonder if our worlds kind of like linger along after we're gone, bouncing off the ionosphere forever. Like if we leave some kind of riff, And I feel like if I could turn the dial to a lost frequency tonight, not Halloween, but tonight, I'd want to hear probably either Orson Welles, what his thoughts are, like not like a behind the scenes thoughts from him about what he did during War of the Worlds and how that affected him. Or I'd like to hear Robert Monroe tell me what happens beyond the veil or beyond that outer ring, But we all love like stories to tell in the dark. So every culture has its ghost stories. And I don't think it's because we're afraid of the dark, but because, now think about what I'm saying here. It's not that we're afraid of the dark, but it's like, almost like we missed the light. Because that's where the comfort is. The dark is the unknown. And the best scary stories always say something true. It's not just some fantasy crazy thing that wouldn't be real. The best, speaking of Hereditary, that movie I'm telling you guys, the best scary stories talk about something true. They're pretty much like mirrors. And sometimes, if it's a really good story, they'll reflect parts of us back that we don't like to see. And I think whoever made that movie, Hereditary, knew that, And a lot of us, we all have a story in our life. I'm going to take it even deeper, even more existential by this statement. But a lot of us, we have a story that never stopped haunting us. And some of you know exactly what I'm saying right when I said that. And others may not understand what I'm saying if you're just positive and happy all the time and you've never had any issues in your life. But most of us have a story that kind of haunts us, you know. And I think in a weird way, like Halloween makes us feel better about those stories too, you know. Being scared or playing with our fears makes us feel better about the things that haunt us, you know. But now, when I look around online, I feel like somewhere along the line, Halloween became this, like everything else does. It became a product or a theme park, like a social media filter at best, or a sale. But I don't know, underneath it all, it still feels, I still long for, I long for the sacredness of it, as dark as that sounds, because it still feels sacred to me. It's like the one night where everyone agrees that maybe, like just maybe, the world really isn't as simple as it seems. And I feel like we're at a stage in our lives where a lot of people are starting to crave that mystery again. They want something authentic, something alive in the static, you know? So I'm asking you guys, what do you want to hear this Halloween? What do you want it to sound like as far as sound is concerned? You know, a night of fright or a night of remembering? And I think I got your answer. Basically like storytelling, you know. Into the unknown is the tagline. Can't make this up. Yeah. You know what? Are you watching the chat, Bryce? No. Jenny said, Hereditary. I won't ever watch it again. That messed me up good. But yeah, it's one of those things that, like, once you watch it, you can't unwatch it. It's stuck in your brain, you know. She said, oof, I've seen it once, never again. It singed into my brain. I ran to the store. Which movie is which? How did you don't have, you tuned out when you went to the store? Man, we got to get an app again, dude. So people, you know.
Yeah.
Or at least I could tell you guys the listen number. But the station's listener supported, so it is whatever the support gives us. But
you can still, I mean, there's a thing I do when I'm at work is, I'll turn on my browser on my phone and just go to the website.
Yeah, just fringe.fm. I tried to set that up to where it's easy to just play it from there too. You can download the Live 365 app, TuneIn, TalkStream Live, the Paranormal Radio app. We're on all of those, you know. But like I said, man, I think people are craving mystery again. You know, we've gotten so much info about all the stuff that we used to talk about. So it makes the mystery that people want even deeper. You know, they want something authentic, like I said, something alive. So you can tell me specifically. Make sure you vote too, so I'll know when I spend the rest of this week before the Halloween special. But I think one of the biggest reasons we like playing with our fears too is fear is kind of a guidepost. It's like a compass, you know. It's not always the enemy. And I know you guys have heard me like tout about, I got to get some better equipment. Look, if I turn my mic that way, you can see my green screen. That's terrible. Radio is so much easier when you didn't have to do video. God, it was easier. So I forgot what the hell I was saying, but I remember saying fear is not always the enemy. It's a guidepost. So it points us to the things that matter most. You know, that's what one of the things I think fear is good for. And I remember what I was saying. I know you guys have heard me even talk about, like, you know, I hate being around fear and people that are fearful because they just have this like voice of lack and it's almost like they bring it to them all the time. Well, that's just honest. If I'm being totally honest with you, that's just me projecting onto people because I grew up with anxiety issues. So severe panic disorder when I was in my early 20s. So I really had to fight in my life, like fight the pills, the medicine, all kinds of stuff for years and years and years before I could get control of it. And just being around like negative, obsessive thoughts about fear isn't good for me. So instead of me just telling people that, what I would usually do is be like, man, you got a fearful mind. Just get away from me. Or you got a lack. I would just insult them, which was the wrong thing to do. I should have just been honest and be like, look, man, I dealt with fear my whole life. I don't like to focus on it, but I get it. I don't, But anyways, but I think the things that scare us usually reveal what they really do. I know this is kind of a deep subject, and I'm trying to make this fun, but I want to say this. The things that scare us usually reveal the things that we care about, right? They're like a guidepost that lets us know what we care about, like what our deepest needs are and what we really value, what we really care about. So that's why ghost stories are really kind of like love stories. They're not about wanting to let go, you know, or actually they are about wanting to let go, but they're not about, it's not like you want to let go of your life. But when you think about death and ghosts, if you look at it on a deeper aspect of fear being a guidepost to your values, they're really deeper love stories. Like, so maybe the question is like, the question maybe it isn't what we fear this Halloween. It's like, what do we still hope for? Speaking of which, I said that earlier. I'm going to ask you, Bryce, if you could get one thing, you got to think about this too. If you could pick two, because I hate when I say just pick one, and usually there's always like two or three most people would pick, but give me one of those three. Like if you could get one phone call from the other side, 1 minute of a clear signal, who would you want to hear? Who would you talk to, Bryce?
It's a tough question.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's say not related, not family or friends, because I know you got friends that passed away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Oh man, somebody with something world changing to say, mind altering, you know.
Philip K. Dick.
No, I've read his books.
Well, I know you're a sci-fi guy, man, so I don't know.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like usually people will pick like someone that's really inspired them, but you know, is no longer living. You know.
Yeah, I mean, Nikola Tesla would be a cool one to hear from. That's for sure.
Good answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to ask him, be like, dude, did all that shit that they're saying about you, that really happened, man? You know, because we tend to fluff things up, stories. You know, I'm sure a lot of it did, though. You know, it's kind of funny too. We spend all of our lives trying to say the right words, but sometimes the things that we never said haunt us more than any ghost. You know, remember that too. So maybe Halloween is like the one night the universe gives us a second chance to connect and listen. And when I want to come back around to seances and say this, it's not that I don't believe in seances. That's not it. And it's not that I don't believe in channeling per se. It's just I just got to be honest with you. Some things feel so real to me, like what happens with Mary, what happened with Chris, some of the experiences I've had. And then I'll go to events or talk to people that claim they're channelers, mediums, readers, whatever. And it's a hard thing to explain, but it's almost like I immediately can feel the bullshit. Whether they're bullshitting themselves or other people on purpose, you know. So I don't want to be too negative about it. It is a real thing, I think, you know. But what's sad is Halloween is going to be over soon, you know. And when that ends and all the costumes come off and there's still kind of like that strange feeling at the end of the night before you go to bed that maybe something did brush up against us or you did get touched. If you go to like a haunted house, maybe it's not the dead haunting the living. Maybe it's the living haunting the dead. You ever think about that? If you guys go back into the archive, when I talked to Laird Scranton, and when he was talking about, I think it was the Hopi or something, that they believed that the dream world and the spirit world was the actual real world, and this place was the illusion. And not only that both the living and the dead depend on each other. One, it's not like we're going to go to some better place when we die. And it's not like when the dead come here, this is an even better place than that. It's almost like the spirit world depends on the physical world. and vice versa, like a figure eight, just as much, you know. We had a pretty big, deep discussion about that, I remember. And so whatever it is, like at the end of that night, when the static fades and all the lights dim out, and then we have to move into Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's Eve, this signal's going to keep going. Somewhere out there, people will still be listening. We'll wrap it back around to Halloween. You know what I really want, man, Bryce? Like, even, let's say the Fringe FM never turns into anything big, like as far as in broadcasting. Let's say radio is dead. Like some people are saying, radio's dead. I hate when people say that, man, because I don't believe it at all. Maybe I just don't want to believe it. I'm trying to hold on to it, but I think it would be cool, at the very least, like for Fringe FM to have such a freaking cool thing on Halloween every year that we all just kind of like hang out and tune in. You know what I mean? Even if radio totally died, let's say it really died, people would say, well, there is that Halloween night that we do on the Fringe FM, you know. That would be cool. That'd be pretty dope. DG says, I would need more than a minute call with Tesla. Well, yeah, I'm sure Bryce would too, right? Like, did I say it just if you had 1 minute? I probably did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. But I mean, if that's all you get, that's all you get, and you take what you can get, right?
60 seconds. You're gonna ask 60 seconds. You're gonna ask Tesla anything. Go. What are you gonna ask him?
I don't
Time's ticking.
I need more than a minute.
You got to be prepared, man. You never know when the opportunity strikes.
That's true. If
What's up,
let's
Sylvain?
be honest though, if that actually did happen, I'd probably think it was a prank.
Yeah, I know you. You'd be totally cynical about it. You'd be like, "This ain't real."
I'd be like, whatever. This is a scam. What Google representative is this? You know.
Yeah, what AI voice is this?
Yeah.
Tesla, man, who knew too much? His brains and creativity allowed him to live a full life, though sometimes animals, in his case pigeons, are more true. Yeah. Yeah. If I had like 1 minute, I'd just ask him flat out, dude, did you teleport stuff? Did you see any, did you cause any, what we would consider supernatural or unnatural even today? Did you see it, witness it? And I'd probably throw in that last question is like, how do we force the government to like, well, you can't force them. How do we force the government to give us free energy that we know we can get? And then he'd probably tell me they'll kill you if you talk about it. And then you just hang up. Like, what do you think happens to sound after we're gone? You know, does it disappear or does it like keep echoing forever? That's another thing I think about sometimes. I swear on the you know that night that I told you that the horse came into the shack when I was at like 3 a.m. and I woke up out of that dream. I thought it was freaking Baphomet in the shack, but just because I heard the hoofs. But there was a literal horse that got out of somebody's yard. And I was in hypnagogia, just waking up out of a dream. And imagine hearing a horse go through your house. That's what it sounded like. And so your brain's stuck. Sometimes when you get stuck in hypnagogia, you're still phasing, like Robert Monroe calls it. Your consciousness is still trying to come to and focus. So let's just say I was in between realities when I realized, man, there's something in the shack and it's got hooves. Like my brain didn't register. It's a horse, But when I went out there, I saw the horse in the yard. The moon, the only reason why I could see it was because of the moonlight. And I rousted it. I got, kind of rousted it back over to where it belonged. Then it came back over here again. All the other horses are going crazy. And there was a moment, just one moment there that was kind of Halloween-y. Like I felt like something was trying to get my attention. Not in a scary way, just like a feeling, And if people say, well, that's channeling, that's like spirit talking, then I believe in that, right? Like I could believe that is real, But we talk about ghosts and these paranormal investigators, all the people that talk about, quote, ghosts, they talk about them like they're so rare. But I feel like honestly, man, I feel like we're freaking surrounded by them. They're not rare. It's just a phase, like a shift phase of consciousness. And there, even if it's not even like, if you don't even look at it that way in a supernatural way, just look at it in like memories and old songs on tape, or the Orson Welles broadcast, or any voice on cassette or VHS or 8-track. Those are just like memories. They're still all around us, you know? So that's kind of another reason why I like Halloween, because it reminds us that it's so cliche, man, but it's true. Like, it reminds us like we're all signals kind of just passing through, dude, you know? That's what I think we are. We're just signals passing through. After reading Muldoon's books, William Buellman's books, Robert Monroe's books, Dolores Cannon's books, the experiences that I've had in the astral, in the real world, on the radio, with friends, family, life, everything. To me, that is almost like, it's kind of cliche because radio is never truly going to die, because that's what you are. Like, we're all just freaking signals just passing through. That's it. I think we should end on that, man. I got enough votes. Let me see how many votes we got in chat, though. 18. That's pretty good. That gives me a good idea what you guys want. Damn, that's going to be a lot of work. 2 days of storytelling. All right, so I'll do my best to make most of the Halloween event, or a big portion of the Halloween event, storytelling in some form or fashion. So be sure to tune in October the 30th and the 31st. Also tune in next week. I will say, too, because I'm starting a new job or training at my new job. So there's going to be like 6 weeks of like regular 9 to 5 kind of training. So I don't know if I'll be broadcasting 5 nights a week during those nights. I don't think it would be healthy, but I will still be broadcasting. And then when I move into after training, like into my regular shift, so to speak, then the late shows will be back for sure. But thank you guys for coming out. Thanks for voting and letting me know what you really enjoy about Halloween, what your thoughts are on it. Eric, brother, thank you for coming and saying, hey, what's up? Key is the matrix. We come into the field and process the materium by being. Only way out is through. Yeah. Hey, here's something that Eric says, something I know I've heard you talk about before, Bryce. He says, after the Federal Reserve was made, things changed. Tesla was lucky to keep it as long as he did. He wishes he could just share his art, but the world goons know truth is bad for economic enslavements. Yeah, think about all the freaking money they would lose if they're like, well, I mean, technically, yeah, we can give them free energy, but we're talking about billions, probably trillions of dollars they'd lose.
Why would we want to give up all that perceived power?
It's the same reason why they crushed electric cars. You guys remember when they did that twice, actually, before, enough people fought it. But, dude, we crushed electric cars and did all kinds of stuff just for money. Remember what Monroe said. This is a predatory system. No getting around it. Sylvain says, I would say a layer between us and them. Yeah. Robo1776 says, our tradition for Halloween is the family scream. We all go out at 11 p.m. and scream as loud as we can for 10 seconds, then run inside, shut off the lights, and just listen. Are you serious? Are you really serious about that? That is probably one of the coolest things I've ever heard. Your whole family does that? That's badass, man. Mary is on the 30th, not the 31st. Yeah, she'll be on the 30th that night at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, whatever that is, Pacific. I wish they wouldn't freaking change the time and stuff. I hate that shit. Yeah, so she'll be on the 30th because it's her birthday and Halloween. She's pretty busy on Halloween, but I managed to get her here on the 30th, guys. All right. We out, man. Anything else? Is there anything else you want to mention, Bryce, before we roll out here? Because I think I covered it all. At least for...
Yeah.
Can't think of nothing?
Can't think of anything.
I can't either. I'd like to push this 20 more minutes, but whatever. Joe, it sounds like you're living a healthy life. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to.
We could talk about paint for 20 minutes.
You want to talk about paint? I don't want to talk about freaking paint, dude. Like we talking about, like, honestly, no offense, brother, but that's almost like talking about the grass growing,
Exactly, yeah.
So no, we're good. Hey, y'all always too, remember we're in Discord like 24/7. Give us a shout if you see us in any of the chat rooms, like Chill and Talk, Movie Nights. We're in there too. You're all welcome to hang out in the Lighting the Void Discord. I love each and every one of you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We'll see you next week. We'll broadcast before the Halloween special next week too, and try to get some content for the patrons and members up, hopefully. But we'll be working on this. So thank you guys for the feedback. I really, really appreciate it. That's cool, Robo. I think that's really cool.
So glad to see you have overcome now, completely silent now. With heaven's help, you cast your demons out. And not to pull your halo down around your neck and tug you off your cloud. But I'm more than just a little curious how you're planning to go about making your amends to the dead. To the dead.
Transmission log 8. Live status. Very unstable. Signal strength faint. Origin. Shadow City, Sector 9.
Good evening, citizens. Good evening. Remember, the curfew is just a suggestion. Remember,
they sound alive.
Temporal displacement estimated 40 years ahead.
They're the future. And they're tuning into the past?
Keep it locked to Fringe FM, the last real radio.
Attention listeners. Prolonged exposure to fringe frequencies may cause altered perception, deja vu, and inconvenient enlightenment. If symptoms persist, don't change the dime.